Maybe even different. She gave her what was actually on there. She didn't, she didn't have the rest of it. There's no modification. No.
There's no modification?
No, yes. This was what they were from last meeting.
Oh. Okay. Shortest meeting on record. Okay, we'll go to the approval of consent agenda, minutes of regular meeting from May 7th, 2026, and approval of accounts payable.
Make a motion to approve the minutes and accounts payable.
Seconded. Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda for the minutes of regular meeting of May 7th, 2026, and approval of accounts payable. Is there any discussion? All vote.
Counselor Retchell,
Yes.
Counselor Naranjo, oh, sorry, Counselor Scala,
Yes.
and then Mayor Becker.
Yes. All right, proclamations, communications and appointments. The first one is Motorcycle Safety Month. I bet Atencio is gonna do that one. Please take the podium, ma'am. Tell us who you know.
Good evening, I'm Yvette Atencio, Monte Vista community resident. And May is National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. So I'll read the proclamation that I present. Whereas motorcycles are used as a regular means of transportation for community, touring, and recreation in and around the city of Monte Vista and throughout the state of Colorado. And whereas all motorists share the responsibility to promote roadway safety and remain attentive to motorcycles, bicyclists, pedestrians, and all who travel on our streets and highways. And whereas the safe operation of a motorcycle requires the use of acquired skills developed through a combination of training and experience, the use of good judgment, and thorough knowledge of traffic laws and licensing requirements. And whereas it is imperative that the residents of Monte Vista promote motorcycle safety and show increased awareness, education, and mutual respect among motorists and motorcyclists to help reduce crashes, injuries, and fatalities. And whereas the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has declared May as Motorcycle Awareness Month, it is the desire of the Office of the Mayor to join the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration in raising awareness of the growing number of motorcyclists on Monte Vista roadways in order to help prevent accidents and, most importantly, save lives. And now therefore be it resolved that I, Dale Becker, Mayor of the City of Monte Vista, Colorado, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Motorcycle Awareness Month, and urge our citizens to be observant, courteous, and knowledgeable about motorcycle usage in their community.
Very good. I proclaim.
And just a quick note, we will be having a blessing of the bike ceremony on June 6th here at the pavilion at Chapman Park. So everybody's welcome to attend, and it's just to say a short prayer and pray over those who are no longer with us as well, and in memory of our cousin Billy Cisneros.
That's it. What time you said again?
That's June 6th at 10 in the morning.
10 a.m. Okay. Sounds good. You have that copy for me?
I do.
Okay. Thank you, Yvette.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
You want to take a vote, Mr. Mayor?
To proclaim that one? Can. Call for votes for that proclamation and Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month.
Look, go ahead. Counselor Retchell,
Yes.
Counselor Scala,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Yes. Very good. This is what you all have been waiting for. Swearing in of Sergeant Daniel Golden. We'll swear in Dylan Golden and Joshua Hill. Chief, you have the floor.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank everyone being here. This is kind of to me, this is a really big event. Obviously, for me as the chief of police coming in here, it's a great opportunity to bring new people into the organizations or to promote within. We went through a pretty stringent process for the sergeants, and these guys all did so really well. So they should be really proud of what they are. So this today is really a celebration of a hard work that goes into what they put themselves through or what we put them through and their commitment to this community. So I think this shows when I see the support that shows up here, I think that's a really big thing. We might not have the biggest police department, but I've got probably the biggest hearts and everybody in here. So I'm very pleased with the outcomes. And each and every one of these guys performed really well. Everybody in the process performed really well. So that just shows me, as I state probably each month, is we do have a really strong foundation here for the police department. So with that, I will start with Daniel. You come on up. All right, raise your right hand. I, Daniel Gold,
Daniel Golden,
do Golden, do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
under penalty of perjury
under penalty of perjury
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution and the laws of the state of Colorado,
Constitution and the laws of the state of Colorado,
and the charter and ordinances of the city of Monte Vista,
and the charter and ordinances of the city of Monte Vista,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of sergeant
and I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of sergeant
to which I have been appointed, upon which I am now to enter.
All right, can you start that one over?
To which I have been appointed
To which I have been appointed
and upon
and upon
Which-
which
I am about to enter.
I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right. Yeah. You'll do the pinning of the badge if you stand up front. You got this time. I don't want to run everyone off.
That corner is really good for pictures, guys. When Victor's out. Stop.
You guys step over there a little bit there.
Nothing to say without the man.
Next one is Dylan Golden. You guys get me that. Ready? Then we can get this one. I, state your name,
I, Dylan Golden,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
under penalty of perjury
under penalty of perjury
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
and the charter and ordinance of the city of Monte Vista,
and the charter and ordinance of the city of Monte Vista,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties
and that I will faithfully perform the duties
of the office of sergeant
of the office of sergeant
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
and upon which I am about to enter.
and upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. Don't plant. No, no. Yes, sir.
Yay.
And then last but not least, Josh. I, Joshua Hill,
I, Joshua Hill,
do solemnly swear or affirm,
do solemnly swear or affirm,
under penalty of perjury,
under penalty of perjury,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
and the charter and ordinance of the city of Monte Vista,
and the charter and ordinance of the city of Monte Vista,
and that I will faithfully perform
and that I will faithfully perform
the duties of the office of sergeant,
the duties of the office of sergeant,
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
and upon which I am about to enter.
and upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yeah, he's in photos.
All the pictures.
He didn't stay there, he put you in there.
You know what?
It's not about me, it's about
Yeah,
them.
I'll bring you up and we'll kind of stand in the corner so we can get a big picture so we can get that photo too.
With the mayor.
Yeah, with the mayor
With the mayor.
and
With the mayor.
And the council.
And the council.
It's not about us.
I know that. Yes, it is. You just pay to sign your paycheck.
One where, boy.
Guys just gotta be switching between the cameras.
We're being told today.
Come on in, come on in.
Yes.
Police, I was.
Thank you.
Come on.
I'm gonna sit down. I just came from work.
Want to borrow a shirt?
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I jumped out of turn on us. We had Public Works Week, May 17th through 23rd. So you can't leave yet.
So Rob is not here today, so I will read this and I just want to give a shout out to our public work employees. They, they literally clean up the poop when it's needs to be cleaned up. They have to clean up some pretty gnarly yards when we've got some citizens that don't take care of their responsibility of being a good citizen. They keep our water flowing clean and safe. They patch the holes best that we can with the finances that we have. And they keep our parks looking really nice. So National Public Works Week is May 17th through the 23rd. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, emergency management, and services that are vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Monte Vista, the state of Colorado. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, parks, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, our public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public's interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and the children of the city of Monte Vista to gain knowledge and understanding of the importance of Public Works program in their respective communities. And whereas Public Works Director Rob Vance has dedicated 15 years of service to the city of Monte Vista, demonstrating outstanding leadership, commitment, and professionalism in maintaining and improving the city's public infrastructure and essential services for the benefit of the residents and visitors alike. And whereas the city also recognizes the longstanding dedication and expertise of the Public Works supervisors, Andrew Valenzuela with 35 years of service, and Bob Abeda with 25 years of service, whose extensive knowledge, leadership, and commitment have contributed greatly to the success and operation of the city's Public Works Department. And whereas these Public Works professionals hold important certifications in wastewater operations and street maintenance, ensuring the safe, efficient, and professional operation of critical public services and infrastructure for the community. And whereas the year of 2026 marks the 66th annual National Public Parks Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Be it resolved that I, Dale Becker, Mayor, do hereby designate the week of May 17th through the 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week. I'll urge all citizens to join with representatives from the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designated to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make in protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life. So here's to the guys
Here.
out on the street.
Yeah. They can go. Right, they get the poop done. So that is, I proclaim May 17th through 23rd as Public Works Week. And remember that, when you see them guys out working, tell them you appreciate what they do. Because we don't know all they do. Okay. Now we're on track for citizen comments. City Council welcomes your unscheduled comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Council will not take action at this same meeting. Tyler, you got anything as a citizen?
No, sir. You're doing great.
Kurt, Leona? Cade?
We're scheduled, right?
Yes.
Yes. So,
I could take 3 minutes. So anyway, we're obviously, everybody I'm sure knows, we've been working on new
But you're
baseball
scheduled.
fields.
you're scheduled, so you don't have to take
Oh, okay.
3 minutes. You got
Oh,
work.
I can talk, okay. I'll talk.
I'm picking on everybody
Okay.
that's here because Irvin, TJ, you want a citizen comment?
Me?
Yeah,
No, sir.
TJ? Mike? I bet.
I didn't.
No takers on citizen comments. Okay, we'll go to scheduled appearances. In order to be on this portion of the agenda, you have to file appropriate paperwork with the city clerk no later than noon on Monday prior to the meeting. And now I believe this is where Mr. Johnson.
Ready to present it, Mike?
You get going first.
So anyway, we're definitely looking at building new fields.
Cade, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
You need to state your name for the
Oh.
record.
Kay Johnson.
Thank you.
So yes, we're in the process of developing new baseball fields. Obviously our fields have been compromised due to, you know, our situation as far as the softball fields being taken out of play. We've kind of already started the process. We've been doing lots of legwork, getting bids and for odds and ends, we've got tons of in-kind for donations. Substantial business owners around town have volunteered either time or resources to make these fields happen. Obviously, we know we have funding, or hopefully we have funding for new fields. That's what we're kind of here for tonight, to hopefully secure this funding to make this dream come to reality. We are proposing to build 2 new fields west of the existing middle school field. They will be full size, full functioning fields, basically, we could do everything on them, whether it be baseball, soccer, football. I'm sure everyone knows a lot more than me as far as what we want for our community, for our kids' sports and whatnot. The ability to have them a multifunctional facility, since they are large full-size fields, we can do pretty much full-size football fields or soccer fields. Sky's the limit. We have a lot that we can do with this. Also, for future planning and if we can get grants and whatnot, maybe one day down the road, make it a multi-use complex, develop the existing football field that's there now and maybe rehab it and do what we need to make it just an all-inclusive sports complex, really. We do a lot of kids sports, a bunch of community members. Obviously, we travel everywhere. We go to Runyon Field in Pueblo. I mean, it's an awesome complex. That's kind of our dream, is to make it kind of a little mini Runyon, so we can bring in outside income and fill up motels and restaurants and all that good stuff. So hopefully this is something our community will definitely benefit from, and if we can make it come to fruition, it'll be an awesome asset for our community. So take a look. Okay.
Are you gonna read that resolution, Gigi?
No, Durbin is.
No. Irvin, you're reading the resolution.
Durbin, as you know.
All right.
It's ready.
Well, basically what Kate said. Am I done now?
Not quite. I wanna hear you read the whole resolution.
John Tate Dale, we have this agreement. A resolution, council members, a resolution directing transfer of funds from the sale of land authorized by City of Monte Vista, resolution number 2025-10 to the Monte Vista School District for the sole possessed purpose of constructing baseball fields. Whereas the City of Monte Vista previously adopted City of Monte Vista resolution number 2025-10, authorizing the sale of certain city-owned land and generating proceeds from such sale. And whereas the city council desires to dedicate the proceeds to received from the land sale authorized by resolution number 2025-10, the funds to the Monte Vista School District, the school district solely for the purpose of constructing baseball fields. And whereas the city council recognizes that the school district maintains and shall follow its own procurement requirements for the construction of the baseball fields, and upon completion shall own the baseball fields. And whereas the city procurement rules will not apply to the school district's procurement activities related to the construction of the baseball fields. And whereas the city council finds it in the best interest of the city and the public and to ensure that the funds, as well as any donations made for the purpose of constructing baseball fields as described herein, are used solely for that purpose within a reasonable period or returned if the purpose is not achieved. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the City of Monte Vista that transfer and purpose of funds, the city hereby directs that all proceeds received by the city from the sale of land authorized by the City of Monte Vista, resolution number 2025-10, be transferred to the Monte Vista School District. The funds shall be used by the school district solely for the planning, design, permitting, procurement, construction, and related soft and hard costs necessary to construct baseball fields within the Monte Vista School District. School district procurement ownership, the school district shall be solely responsible for and shall utilize its own procurement requirements, policies, and procedures with respect to all services, materials, and construction related to the baseball fields. The city's procurement rules shall not apply to such activities. Upon completion, the baseball field shall be and remain the property of the school district. Reversion of funds, if not constructed within 3 years. If the funds do not result in the completion of construction of baseball fields within 3 years from the effective date of this resolution, any unspent funds together with any interest or earnings thereof shall be returned to the city within 30 days after the expiration of the 3-year period. donations for baseball fields. Any donations received by the city of or the school district that are designated or otherwise provided for the purpose of constructing baseball fields as contemplated by this resolution. The donations shall be used solely for that purpose. If the donations are not utilized for the construction of baseball fields within 3 years from the date of this resolution or later, the date such donation is received, the unused amount of the donation shall be returned to the respective donor within 30 days after the expiration of the applicable 3-year period, to the extent the donor can be reasonably identified and located. If a donor cannot be reasonably identified or located after reasonable efforts, the donation shall be handled in accordance with applicable unclaimed property procedures or as otherwise directed by the donor's written terms, if any. Reporting: the district shall provide the city with annual written updates on the status of the baseball fields project until completion, including an accounting of the funds received and expended. A final report shall be provided within 60 days after project completion. Administrative actions: the city manager and finance director are authorized to take such administrative actions and execute such documents as are reasonably necessary to implement this resolution, including but not limited to a funding transfer agreement with the school district consistent with the terms herein. Effective date, the resolution, okay. It's a lot. So I think that, and here it talks a lot about baseball, but the fields are planned up to be used for other sports as well. Now, I mean, we could play, it'll probably just be practice, but we can play recreational type football, soccer, baseball at these fields, as well as other sports too, that we can use outside. So it's not just the baseball complex, it will be used for other sports as well. And it'll just be awesome for the recreation program and that to take, and expand. As far as, having these fields and getting them built as soon as possible, we will be able to provide tournaments and that and put the economy here during those tournaments every single weekend. And it's like what Kate said, right now, our families are traveling to Pueblo, to Denver, to New Mexico to play baseball tournaments or any type of tournaments outside. And it's costing an average of $4,000 to $5,000 for those families to travel that far, including motels, food, and entry fee a lot of times into the tournaments that they're traveling to. So our families would be able to stay at home, sleep in their own beds. It's other people coming to Monte Vista and donating a lot of funds to our economy here in Monte Vista.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Mayor and Council, I just want to say thank you. The original dream, I guess, was this is really different from it, but the school district and community members and with the leadership of Cade pulling forward saying, let's make this simpler. Let's try and get it done by this next year where the kids can use the fields. And so it has really speeded up the whole timeline process. And so we're excited to partner with them and appreciate the work and the time that's already gone into this and what they're getting accomplished. And so it really shows a lot of community spirit and collaboration and cooperation. And we thank all of those who have contributed and are participating in this project in one way or another.
Mr. Johnson knows everybody in Del Norte, Monte Vista, Alamosa, and 3 counties over, and is getting donations from that. And Leona has also put in a great deal of time of her time too, and that her own time, and that and putting a budget together for us that we requested. So they've done a great job helping us with this and building the dream. And there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to be served not only in our community, but that'll come in from other communities too. So.
Guys have any questions for Dervin? Kate? One thing I'm gonna say is when community gets involved, it's like we will train this project and it's like we kept hitting that wall and things weren't happening. And when the community got involved, Cade and everybody else, like, it was gone. Where we went, so. Good job for everybody that.
I just keep Kate from being mad at me. We're good to go.
No, we're good.
For right now. Okay, well, so what Durbin's asking is that resolution number 2026-13. Resolution allocating funds from the city of Monte Vista, sale of the Sky High Park property for the use of the baseball field to the Monte Vista School District. We need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-13. Resolution allocating funds from the city of Monte Vista, sale of Sky High property for the use of the baseball field to the Monte Vista School District.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2026-13, resolution allocating funds for the city of Monte Vista, sale of Sky High property for the use of the baseball field to the Monte Vista School District. Is there any discussion? Can't have a conversation with myself. Please call for the vote.
Council Birchall,
Aye.
Council Scott,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Okay.
Motion carried.
I volunteer him to do a dunk tank.
All right, resolution 2026-14. Resolution to provide monetary assistance for maintenance for the ball field for the Monte Vista Middle School. Mr. Taylor, read this one.
Yes, sir. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Monte Vista, Colorado, authorizing an annual appropriation of $5,000 for the maintenance of baseball fields at Monte Vista Middle School. Whereas the City of Monte Vista, the city recognizes importance of quality recreational facilities for its youth and community members. And whereas the baseball fields located at Monte Vista Middle School serve as a significant recreational and athletic resource for the students and residents of Monte Vista. And whereas the city council finds that it is in the best interest of the public health, safety, and welfare to support the ongoing maintenance and upkeep of said baseball fields. And whereas the city council desires to commit an annual amount of $5,000 for the maintenance of the baseball fields at Monte Vista Middle School, subject to annual appropriation as required by Colorado law. And whereas pursuant to CRS 29-1-103, the city is required to adopt an annual budget setting forth all proposed expenditures for operations and maintenance. And whereas pursuant to CRS 29-1-108, the city council is required to enact a resolution adopting the budget and making appropriations for each fiscal year. And whereas pursuant to CRS 29-1-110, no officer, employee, or spending agency of the city shall expend or contract to expend any money in excess of the amounts appropriated for each fiscal year. And whereas the city council acknowledges that this resolution constitutes a statement of intent and policy direction, and the actual expenditure of funds is contingent upon annual appropriation in the city's budget as required by the local government budget law of Colorado, CRS 29-1-101. Whereas nothing in this resolution shall be construed to obligate the city to appropriate funds in any current or future fiscal year, and the city council retains full discretion to appropriate, modify, or decline to appropriate funds in any given year in accordance with the city's financial circumstances and priorities. Maintenance and operations. Monte Vista School District will be responsible for routine field maintenance, including upkeep of dirt, infills, fertilization, irrigation, and mowing of grass areas. General maintenance of fencing and structures to ensure safe conditions. City and community groups utilizing the fields will be responsible for post-game field maintenance and general field area cleanup. The Monte Vista School District requests that the city of Monte Vista provide an annual contribution of $5,000 to assist with ongoing maintenance costs. Infrastructure, to support future development, the Monte Vista School District requests that the city of Monte Vista provide water and sewer taps in proximity to the fields. Grant a setback variance off of Sherman Avenue for construction of a concession stand may be a RG County request. These utilities will support future restroom and concession facilities. Agreement, the existing draft memorandum of agreement between the Monte Vista School District and the city of Monte Vista will be amended to include the two new fields and clarify shared use and responsibilities and ongoing financial support from the city of Monte Vista in the amount of $5,000 annually. Conclusion, the Monte Vista School District is committed to constructing and maintaining a functional, sustainable athletic facility for student and community use. The Monte Vista School District looks forward to continued coordination with the city of Monte Vista on this project. Submitted by the Monte Vista School District. So for the $5,000, what we have done is volunteered that out of Gigi's budget. Her and I already talked about this. I'm gonna look over there right now. See, I told you she's a nice lady, Kay. See? So this though, along with what we purchased today, and I'll talk about that more during my recreation report now, truly helps, and it's pennies for us as far as support for this, as far as dragging the grounds, keeping up the grounds and whatnot. And basically, I think most of this is going to go to is just like sand and that for rain out games and stuff like that, so our kids don't have to get everything canceled. Not just things like that though, and equipment, repair equipment and whatnot. So get it right. Okay, we are good.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2026-14. A resolution to provide monetary assistance for maintenance for the ball fields at the Monte Vista Middle School.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2026-14A 14, a resolution to provide monetary assistance for maintenance for the ball fields at the Monte Vista Middle School. You have any more discussion?
This will be reviewed every year, a budget.
Yes, sir.
You may call for the vote.
Counselor Bradshaw,
Aye.
Counselor Scala,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries.
My only question is, why do they keep looking at you, Leona, like they're like, hey, mom, did I do good?
Welcome to my world.
That's the only one was scared of us,
All right. Next resolution.
I mean,
So Judy wants to make a comment about the funding on this real quick. And then we'll do the aeronautical resolution.
I just wanted to make you aware that, the money that we had set aside for the baseball fields, the 300,000 we came from the sale of the property. It is in a CD until July, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't mature until July, so we will go ahead and take it out of, current funds and then just leave the CD where it's at, if that's all okay with you.
You good with that, boss lady?
Yep.
Okay,
Perfect. Okay.
very good. Gigi, it's on you now. TJ, where you going? Nope, that's not the way it works. DJ's not talking, so nobody can leave.
Okay, so I'm asking for your approval of resolution 2026-15. A resolution approving the Monte Vista Airport Pavement Preservation Grant Agreement. Our city attorney just told me all I have to do is read the title. Because this is really a lot of.
As long as it was published for the requisite amount of time and presented to the public for review in the statutory necessary time prior to this meeting. So, yes.
And so it's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. But the city received a grant from the Colorado Division of Aeronautics for $508,612. The city's portion to match that is $64,169. And this is for pavement, repaving the runway out at the Monte Vista Airport.
Well, we've had this conversation with Rob for a couple of times in
Yeah.
regard to this, yes. So resolution 2026-15, a resolution approving the Monte Vista Airport pavement preservation grant agreement. We need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2026-15, a resolution approving the Monte Vista Airport pavement preservation grant agreement. Is there any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Counselor Redpath,
Aye.
Counselor Sedala,
Aye.
Mayor Becker,
Aye.
motion carried.
Hey, DJ's turn to talk. Everybody can leave now.
All you have to do is read the title.
Oh, 937.
So ordinance 937, we've discussed this one a lot. So I will just go ahead and read the title, and if you guys have more discussion you want to have on that one, you guys can do that. So ordinance 937, ordinance of the city of Monte Vista, amending Article 16 overlay districts, chapter 12 zoning of the Monte Vista Municipal Code. There you go. Right, the title. So this is the wildland resiliency code that we're still adding back or adding into the current code.
Explain just a little bit further, DJ.
This is the second reading. So the last meeting we had, you guys went through it. And I know it passed, I think, 3-2. So this one adds the overlay district on the south side of town for the wildland resiliency code, requiring upgraded facility infrastructure, different landscaping and whatnot, on the south side of town in the Lariat area, as well as in Terra del Sol, and then also on up off of East Drive. As we've discussed, this is a state mandated adoption. It's not given, this is not something we created on ourselves. It's something that we have to do. I did speak with an insurance provider to discuss what the impact was from this, from an insurance perspective, and he doesn't see that there would be any impact from adopting this as far as plus or minus. We already have the highest rating an insurance company can provide for fire protection is what we have in the city, because we have a fire hydrant every 300 feet. Every new commercial structure that goes in is required to put in a fire hydrant. And then our fire response time is less than 15 minutes. So we have pretty good fire rating as it is. So this doesn't impact that. It will impact the cost of building. It makes some of the windows more expensive. It'll change some of the fencing structures in those districts. But that's not something we can necessarily affect. Like I said, this is not it's not a want to, this is more of a have to by the state.
Is there repercussions of not having this right now?
That is a really great question, and no one can say because it hasn't been tested in court yet.
Rio Grande County didn't impose it, did they?
They have chose not to take it on at this time because it is an unfunded mandate. So, and this only goes into effect, the impact of it only goes in when you draw a building permit. So all the things that currently exist would not be affected. It would just be for new homes that go in. And so CRHDC would be affected. About a third of the Lariat area would be affected. And then Sky High would be affected if we ever did another building permit out there. And that's pretty much the limit as far as what it touches. But yeah, I don't know the impact. I know that several counties and whatnot are protesting it. There was some stuff that hit Senate or the state Senate that died in committee to kind of push it off, and the state didn't entertain it. So.
It's minimal area for us, right? Terradisal, East Drive, that's out by Sky Park, and then, I heard there yet because of the,
Yeah, off of Clay and 285, it comes up. It's kind of weird the way that it does it. It kind of comes up at an angle. As far as it doesn't cover the entire Lariat area, it just covers about a third.
and that's very south end, right?
South and west side of town.
Was there talk of them changing that because of changing the mapping that they had?
No, and they did it by octagon shape. So they didn't do it by parcel. I did do the overlay by parcel. Because in the code basically said if it touches your property, it covers it. So every parcel that their octagons touched, I went ahead and brought into the overlay district for us. So our map shows a slight bit more. As far as the picture goes, but not for impact. Impact is if you touch your parcel, it touches your parcel.
So you guys can still not pass it. You don't want to pass it. We don't know what the ramifications will be if the state would come down to say, are you doing this or not? The benefit of going ahead is, as you know, planning and zoning is meeting in the conference room. They're getting ready to update all of the land use codes. And so now would be the appropriate time before it's all printed out, go ahead and get this stuck in there. Because it's easier than to take it out than to say, oh, we've got another amendment that goes into our new code. We don't have an opinion, we're staff.
Well, legally, sorry if I may, same thing. I mean, DJ, I've wrestled with this for months, so are the counties and municipalities, and there's really no case on it. I'm reading one right now. It came out April 9. And it really isn't on this issue. It's on unfunded mandates, and really all the court said as well. And it actually has to do with law enforcement and stuff. So we have no clear answer. We've got a very clear statute that says any unfunded mandates, and you don't have the money for it, you don't have to do it, or the state can pay for it. That's clear. Where this falls, that's the gray area, right? And I've asked questions to this insurance industry myself. And they say, oh, it all goes into a pool, and they won't give you a real answer. I've asked whoever I could find with state government to say, are we going to be punished? Are you going to withhold funds and so forth? And still no answer, right? So I'm sorry that this is one of those that frustrates me because I like to give answers that are black and white and right. This one, nobody has one yet.
And I think this was primarily done because of the mountain communities. Obviously, that's where the big fires are going to come. How they picked these areas of Monte Vista, are they thinking of a prairie grass fire that could potentially come from the south and move north and take out part of a neighborhood? They didn't ask our opinion.
So if there were ramifications for not accepting this ordinance or adopting the ordinance, we would be made aware of that, right? So we had to, we couldn't change at that point.
And I'm sorry, your voice kind of dropped there.
So if we don't make a motion and it fails for the lack of a motion, and a year from now they pass a bill that says there are ramifications for not adopting the ordinance, we will be made aware of that, right? So
Most likely, yes.
The only concern I voiced is if we had another 420 fire, would that make us culpable at that point because we didn't enforce what the state said we should? If we had part of Lariat burn due to a grass fire, does that make us partially culpable? And Brad said. He's not listening, he's reading.
I'm listening.
Okay, what did you say when I asked you that question?
You said that you don't think, the question is whether it would be an insurance problem, right, for this area if we don't pass it.
No, it's if we had a fire like the 420 and it burned structures and it would have been in that zone, could we be partially liable?
That's another good question. And that's come up for discussion. I don't have an answer to that one either. It's a tangled web of the statute I mentioned, and we'll find out later.
For us, it's a relatively minor cost as far as the city goes, but it is not a relatively minor cost for the residents that are building homes. You're looking at an additional $18,000 to $25,000 per home. For the new windows, the required roofing, and the required walls.
Are you waiting, Brad, are you waiting for information to be able to firm up some of the answers?
I'm checking right now. That's what I'm doing. I mean, if I missed anything in the last 2 to 3 weeks and there's nothing yet. And I watch this, like a hawk, and as soon as we get information, I would be happy to advise you. But I've not seen anything yet. There's also, the practical considerations of enforcement, but I don't want to lean this board one way or the other. It's a political decision, but there's a lot of counties and municipalities that are not doing it. All right, so where's the enforcement arm of the state to come out and try to identify those? Now, we do have to send in and be on a list or not with the state as to whether we do, if we do. But I don't see anybody running around writing tickets or either. I think they've got a bit of a hornet's nest on their hands, meaning they being the state and legislature that passed and pushed this movie code.
Did you want me to go sit down again for a lack of emotion?
I would like to think that we could table this discussion till we get some more information. I know you're trying to get stuff done as far as planning and zoning, but I want more information. Where's the liability at if there was another fire and went through that area and we went ahead. Okay, wait, I had it and then I lost it. If somebody built a home. Where's the liability of the city if they built a home, lost their home, but we had this in place, and are they gonna try to come after the city? Say, well, you made us do this and we still lost our home.
I think you guys have an easier decision than the counties, right? Because this encompasses how many acres? Pretty small area.
It's a small area, I don't have the acre count.
In other words, so, the nice thing about you sitting here making this decision is unlike the counties who have a big area and a lot of woods and a lot more to deal with. It's a small area. Once again, so I'm trying not to sway you. You could adopt it and it's only going to affect a few residents, or you could take a stand and say, we're not going to do it right now. But at least you have, I don't want to draw upon Commissioner Ratzlaff, but he knows what I'm talking about when it comes to a countywide concern. You don't have that, at least. That makes it any better. It's a small area.
Well, it's like Gigi said, if we put it in, it's easy to take out. But if we don't put it in, it's pain to put it in.
It'll take a few hours plus about 60 days worth of postings and meetings to make it all get back done. We'd have to start back from scratch with notification. I don't think we had notifications. So just have to go back through planning and zoning. We'd have to get recommended from them because it'd be a text amendment to the land use code, which requires a planning and zoning meeting, public hearing, then a meeting with you guys with a public hearing, and then the adoption resolution process again.
Those got any more questions? I'm gonna say we have a lack of emotion, so,
I'm gonna go ahead and put it back down then.
there. Thank you, DJ. Yeah, for ordinance 937, ordinance Colorado Wildfire Resiliency Code was a lack of motion, so it has been put to rest for now. Okay, we will go on with the MOU between the city of Monte Vista and we already did that, didn't we?
No.
No. MOU between the city of Monte Vista and the Monte Vista School District with the baseball fields located at the Monte Vista Middle School.
It's me again.
I hope it's long. Do not cut him any slack on it.
Can I just read the title and then? Be gone?
No,
I should
sir.
read the title and then the highlights of this.
There's a whole lot of.
Convention to an agreement we already have with that.
Okay. Memorandum of Understanding between the City of Monte Vista and Monte Vista School District, number C8, regarding joint use of baseball fields. Parties' purpose, background. Parties, this memorandum of understanding, which will be now known as MOU, is entered into by and between the City of Monte Vista, a municipal corporation, the city, and Monte Vista School District, number C8, MVSD, each a party and collectively the parties. This MOU concerns cooperation in the joint use of baseball fields located at or associated with MVSD's middle school campus. Purpose, the parties desire to formalize and standardize procedures governing scheduling, operations, maintenance, and risk, all allocation to support the continued community use of the baseball fields in a manner that prioritizes public safety, fiscal responsibility, and operational certainty for the city. The parties have historically collaborated on events, recreation, and community activities and have recently invested in upgrades to the middle school campus and construction of new baseball and recreation facilities. Authority, each party enters this MOU pursuant to its respective legal authority. Nothing herein shall be construed as creating a debt, multi-year fiscal obligation, or obligation of future appropriations by the city contrary to Article 10-20 of the Colorado Constitution. Term, renewal, non-appropriation. Effective date. Initial term, this MOU is effective on the latter date of signature and shall continue unless earlier terminated as provided herein. Administrative review, renewal, the parties shall conduct an administrative review at least annually on or before June 30th to confirm continued alignment on scheduling, maintenance standards, and cost allocations, and may renew or amend this MOU by written instrument signed by authorized representatives. Non-appropriation, notwithstanding any provision to the contrary, any financial obligation of either party beyond the then current fiscal year is contingent upon annual appropriation. Failure of appropriation shall not constitute a default. Definition, city events means city-sponsored or city-permitted programs, activities, or events at the fields. MVSD events means MVSD instructional programs, functions, and events. Fields means the baseball fields and associated amenities, including lighting, scoreboards, fencing, outbuildings, spectator areas, parking immediately serving the fields, and related improvements, all as existing from time to time. Inspection during normal business hours, a digital copy of the 2025 Colorado Wildfire Resiliency Code provided. Section 1216-440 amendments, section.
I'm out,
Hold on.
I'm out.
Oh, did I go to the wrong page now? All right. Yeah, I was just going, it's very copy. Was that it? I'm sorry. Can't interrupt me when I'm on a roll. Gee. I think that's all I should have to talk tonight.
Yeah,
Well, you still have 2 reports.
I think that, if you guys have any direct questions, Leona's here for the school district. Gabe, yes, Gabe is here to talk about this agreement. And I think that we've worked through the city's concerns, but this is a chance for you, council, to ask any questions of this MOU. And Victor, for you looking, we're like on page 26 in your packet. Or at least that's where Durbin stopped.
Is there more?
Well, he kept going.
Yeah, it
He
starts
kept-
on page 24. Yeah, there's
He
more,
reverted back to page
Yeah.
20.
My fault.
but it talks about the fees, background checks of the children, well, excuse me, not the children, of the coaches and the volunteers and the referees.
That's kind of standard with the school anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That meeting with these placed.
right, lots of places. It talks about the insurance, parking and security, the branding, the sponsorship, and the concession stands. There's even dispute resolution. And maybe Gabe would like to jump up there and just talk a little bit about their vision in all of this.
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh, great. Well, I would just say that.
State your name for the record,
Okay,
please.
Gabe Futrell, incoming superintendent for Monte Vista School District. We just want to get the fields in so the kids can have access to the fields. It's been all last summer and then here we go on another summer where they haven't had as much access to the fields and stuff. So yeah, so we want to work with the city as much as possible to have not only baseball but the other sports that were mentioned, whether it's football, soccer, etc. That we can work together to do what's best for the kids. So I've been here in Monte Vista for 15 years. So even though I'm incoming superintendent, I've been a member of your kids coming through Mets. Been at Bill Mets for 15 years. So I raised my family here in Monte Vista and want to see families continue to do that and stay. So yeah.
And I think we should do a shout out to the county with Commissioner Retzliff here. I don't know if you guys have finalized a possible donation or not, but the school district that school is in the county. And I think that the Road and Bridge Department has committed some equipment and some time and labor on the field. So, I mean, this is really a very cool collaboration between school, city, county, and then the massive community that has stepped forward in order to get this accomplished. And so it's certainly in the city's interest as well as the school's interest to get along, to work together, to promote this and have a strong program that other communities could look at to say, look, they got it done, we can get it done.
No, you got anything you want to add?
I, to save Durbin reading a little bit more, we've always had an exceptional working relationship
Come up.
with the city.
Yes, please.
States or
Leona Holland, work with the Monte Vista School District.
in attempting to save Derwin from speaking anymore, we have always had a great relationship between the school and the city when it comes to our students. And this is really just a formality. We have an MOU in place. They use our buildings when necessary. They use our fields when it's needed for tournaments and stuff. We already have an agreement on scheduling, on all those things. This just is updating, adding the new fields that we're putting in, just making it part of that whole process. They respect our schedules. Always, we try to work around them the best that we can, and I don't really see that changing. So that's my plug for the MOU.
Thank you, Leona.
So in the future, like 10 years from now, 15 years from now, if there's one thing you can always count on, it's change. I would hope that we would never have somebody that would come in and be like, no, you can't use our fields anymore, you know? I do believe that, you know, people that work in the school district are not in it just for the money. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be in it just for the money, you know? And that takes a lot of heart and a lot of dedication to commit yourselves to the kids and for their futures, you know. I think it's a great thing, you know. I think it's a good thing that, you know, the agreements that we have with the school and being able to use their facilities, and you know, it's fantastic, you know. So thank you guys.
Need a motion?
Yes, sir, we do.
I'll make a motion for the MOU between the city of Monte Vista and Monte Vista School District with the baseball fields located at the middle school.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the MOU between the city of Monte Vista and Monte Vista School District with the baseball fields located at the Monte Vista Middle School. Any more discussion? Take the vote, please.
Counselor Bradshaw,
Aye.
Counselor Segal,
Aye.
Mayor Becker,
Aye.
motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you for all you guys' hard work. You too, Durbin.
Thank you.
All right. First quarter financials. You should feel proud of it. It's the first time I've never missed that.
Okay. I'm a little bit late. Been working real hard to get stuff ready for the auditors, so. We're gonna do the first quarter. The city's completed 25% of the fiscal year as of the end of March. The general fund, total revenue for the general fund is at 27% of the approved budget, or $1,263,343. The largest source of revenue is taxes, totaling $805,010. This is approximately 64% of total revenue received year to date. Our tax revenues have increased by approximately 5% over the same period in 25 and decreased 2% over the same period in 24. Total expenditures in the general fund are at 24% of the approved budget, or $1,115,327. As of month end, the general fund's portion of cash in the main checking account is $173,468. Revenues have exceeded expenditures by $148,016, bringing the fund balance to $4,667,257. Number of months of operating expenses in the unassigned fund balance at month end is 11.7 months. The water fund, total revenue in the water fund is at 19% of the approved budget, or $210,247. Total expenditures in the water fund are at 28% of the approved budget, or $373,511. As of month end, the water fund's portion of cash in the main checking account is $8,401. Expenditures have exceeded revenues by $163,264, bringing the fund balance to $2,419,542. I'll discuss the why expenditures have exceeded revenues shortly. Sewer fund, total revenue in the sewer fund is at 23% of the approved budget, or $459,808. Total expenditures in the sewer fund are at 13% of the approved budget, or $270,091. As of month end, the sewer fund's portion of cash in the main checking account is $584,144. Revenues have exceeded expenditures by $189,717, bringing the fund balance to $6,983,899. I'm gonna go into the general fund a little bit. The general fund revenues for the first quarter of 2026 show an increase of $58,618 over 2025. Total tax revenue is up slightly, investment revenue is up, and permits and fees are up due to the city now handling city building permits. The water and sewer fund revenues have both increased, but only within a few dollars of each other from last year. Next slide. General fund revenues average $421,114 per month. March brought in the highest revenue of the first 3 months. This was mainly due to an increase in tax revenue. Going to taxes, property tax trends are pretty close to the same with the traditional spikes in April and June. First quarter of 2026 is held true. However, in March, we did see an increase, providing a $22,000 increase for the first quarter over previous years. So the little orange line is 2025, 2026. So it's a little bit higher. Rio Grande sales tax revenue compared to the first quarter of 2025, the Rio Grande County sales tax is up approximately $12,000 or 3% and down approximately $19,000 or 5% from 2024. City sales tax revenue compared to the first quarter of 2025 is up approximately $2,100 or 1% and down approximately $3,800 or 2% from 2024. Compared to the first quarter of 2025, the total tax revenue is up approximately $41,000 or 5% up and approximately $35,000 or 4% from 2024. That's total tax revenue. And that also includes franchise tax, occupational tax, cigarette tax, and the highway users tax fund money. So those are all included in total tax revenue. Year-to-date expenditures for the first quarter in the general fund have decreased by $38,067. Most department salaries have increased slightly due to COLA. However, the city has had a couple of positions that have not been filled to date. This has led to a decrease in overall expenditures. Expenditures in the water fund have increased by $160,041. The primary reason is due to the unplanned payment to satisfy the Anderson Ditch water purchase contract from 2012. Other increases include COLA salary and benefits, general liability insurance, purchase of a compactor, and a purchase of a few new water meters. So that Anderson Ditch payment is why the water fund is so much higher than what we had budgeted at this point. The sewer fund expenditures have also increased by $64,950 over 2025, primarily again to COLA increases for salary and benefits, general liability insurance, and utility charges. General fund expenditures average $371,766 per month. March's expenditures came in close to that average. January is generally an outlier due to many of the yearly renewals for software being paid. That's me comparing monthly budgeted amounts for expenditures. At 25% of the budget year, we are under budget by 1% in the general fund, and all departments are operating within their budgets at this time. The current ratio is $6.37 of assets for every $1 of liabilities. And again, the city has 11.7 months of operating expenses in the general fund's total unassigned investments. Any questions?
Thank you, Judy. We need to approve the first quarter financials.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the first quarter financials. Is there any discussion? Call for the vote.
Counselor Bradshaw,
Aye.
Counselor Segala,
Aye.
Mayor Becker,
Aye.
motion carries.
All right. Staff proposals, reports, and actions. Rec and Sky High. I hope it don't cut him any slack. You can't just highlight it. Gotta read the whole thing.
Here's the highlights. So as far as recreation goes, we just ended with our adult basketball league, that, thank goodness. That, no major injuries or fights, that's a good thing. But what was nice about the league this year was we had as many women's teams as we did men's teams, so that was really good to see as far as rec goes. And we are kicking off baseball, so we have baseball and softball. We have 9 through 11-year-old girls teams in that, which is nice. They'll be traveling down to Buena Vista this year, as well as Salida. And when we get our new fields, they're going to return the favor and travel to us. We also just rented it's called a turbo tank. So it paints all of our fields. We were trying on it today. We did the football field over at the high school that we used during football season. As well as we did the middle school baseball field. And we painted our own little guys fields out front out here, the T-ball fields. So what normally takes us like 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, and a little bit more, it takes this thing an hour to do. And it's nice, the fields look great. You go by the football field or by the middle school baseball field, and that it really does a great job. So that was nice for recreation. Any questions regarding recreation?
Durbin. On this machine, and what do you call it? The turtle?
The turbo tank,
Turbo, okay.
Turbo tank.
TT, turbo tank. I
I
should
thought I had something to do with the dunk tank, so I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Didn't you try it out on the dirt parking lot as well?
What we did too was we tried it out the first time they came down, which was probably 2 months ago in the dirt parking lot over at Sky High. We were gonna paint that today, but that's an all-day event, and then we wanted to have them do it closer, show us how to do it closer to Stampede, so that he's gonna come back on July 7th and help us paint that. We get 3 visits by them per year. But we painted lines over at the Stampede parking lot. Those lines are still there from the rain, the cars driving all over them, the parking over there. The lines are still there. They look great. And that was just with regular paint. There was a special paint that we use for parking lots and whatnot. So they'll even last longer, hopefully, with that. But we're going to paint the entire Stampede parking lot with this machine. And it should take about a couple hours to do that. So if you want to come down 10 o'clock, July 7th. Come on over.
You're painting stripes, parking stripes?
Yep, parking stripes. Any other questions for recreation?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Sky High. So it's been really busy at Sky High. We've had several rentals, lots of rentals of showers, graduations. We're still doing just about every weekend. We are doing graduations. We're there normally Friday through Sunday. With some type of graduation, some type of baby shower, wedding shower, or wedding. We also had the circus there this past weekend. Right? Did you enjoy it?
That was good.
Good.
We need to water it for them next time, but outside of that, it was good.
And actually, they were supposed to use the stadium, so we had that watered. But then they found out when they got here that the stadium was too small for their tent. So then we just put them out there. And that they got great with it, so we will water for it next time when they come, get it better prepared. what happened though, exciting news, what if some of their animals, I guess, got away? This isn't funny, you guys. Some of their animals got away and I guess was walking down the street and kind of bit into a guy's fence or his fence, so we're keeping their deposit to pay for this gentleman's fence. And I didn't believe it when they first told me about it, because I just started laughing, and then it really did happen, so. Yeah,
They didn't hardly have any animals.
that's what I said too, that's why I started laughing. I started laughing, but I guess someone got away, walked through the parking lot, walked into this gentleman's yard. And ate a little bit of his fence.
There was like 3 goats, a pony, a calf, and
Must have been the goat. It was the goat.
It might have been, so.
wow.
So, Sky High right now, we're starting to gear up for, Stampede and a few other events and that, getting everything cleaned up. Stables and everything, so. Fun stuff going on out there, and we continue to get, a great deal of rentals. The staff told me that the last 2 weeks, they've never been that busy at this point in time of the year, so that was encouraging.
So many events that you got from January 1 to now.
I'll find that out for you next meeting. I will have that information for you.
I need to call Tori.
No, because I actually got it, but I ran out with these papers and I left Dee and Tori's report that they had for me on my desk. So please don't tell them now, I'll be in trouble. And I know you're gonna tell them, but you know.
Well,
That's all I have. Any questions?
thank you, Durbin.
Okay, thank you.
Kids Connection.
Good evening. I just have a couple of quick updates for you. So yesterday morning, myself and Gigi met with the county commissioners just to kind of give an update on Kids Connection. And honestly, it was the first time I had even been there as the director for Kids Connection. So I think it was a nice opportunity for me to just kind of give them some information about the program and what we do, since they do provide a large amount of support to Kids Connection and have since before I was part of Kids Connection story. So it was a nice little meeting, just an opportunity to kind of give them some background and allow them to ask some questions. And I provided the handout that Gigi just handed out to you as well. So summer planning started this week. Staff were in first aid and CPR training all day today, so we're kind of, I feel like a zombie right now. I don't even know how I'm still awake. I wasn't even fully speaking English at the end of the day because everything coming out of my mouth was not coming out the way it was supposed to. So I didn't know how this was gonna go. I actually messaged Gigi and said I might not make it because my last food delivery was scheduled to be here at 5:50 this evening. I got there at 5 o'clock and I still had to put all of that food away, and that was 4 weeks of food for meal services. So I got a really good workout today. So as you know, well, some of you know, our summer program is kind of our baseline for attendance for the year. And as of right now, we are sitting at 54 current attendance and 15 brand new attendance for the program. So I have 15 or 54 of my OG kids that have been with us at least since last school year or last summer. And then we have 15 brand new kids to the program starting this summer. And all of those new kids are actually in my kindergarten through 2nd grade group. So it looks like the school district may be getting quite a few young ones coming in this year. The number of 15 sounds really intimidating, but I graduated 19 2nd graders going into our 3rd grade group at the end of the school year. So that 3rd grade group is a really big group, but it looks like the kindergartners are going to kind of keep up with the trend. And that's really all I have for you. We start our summer program on Monday, bright and early at 8 a.m. and we will run through the summer and That's about it.
Literally run through the.
Literally run through the summer. Yes.
Anybody got any questions?
Another questions for me?
Sounds busy.
Very. And loud.
Yeah. Nika, thank you. I so appreciate what you and your staff do. Because that's grooming those kids to be future leaders here, so.
We're trying really hard. I've actually created a new program. So I mentioned this at the commissioner meeting yesterday. A lot of the programs that we run through Kids Connection are unique to Kids Connection. We create what works for our kids in our community because the programs that are nationwide or even statewide don't necessarily always work for all children. And I know I say this a lot. Anytime I have a conversation about working with kids in this community, the kids in this community are way different than kids in neighboring communities. Like it's the complete flip of the spectrum, and things that we deal with our kids in our community are extremely unique to us and extremely challenging. So I created a new program to try to help our kids deal with conflict resolution on their own. So we're going to kick that off this summer. It's called Peacekeeper Program. And they are going to mediate their own student to student conflicts with the help of some steps that I laid out. We have a talk it out table where the two students that are having a conflict will find a peacekeeper, so a peer that they trust can run their meeting. They'll sit down at the table together, and it is all about just acknowledging how your actions could affect someone else. So it's not, nobody's forced to apologize for what they do, because the way somebody chooses to respond to something you did is kind of their choice. You can choose to be offended by it or not. We're trying to get our kids to understand that just because somebody has a different opinion than you, it doesn't mean that they're trying to hurt your feelings. Like everyone is entitled to live their life the way they choose to live their life. You really don't have to respond to that unless you choose to. So we're just trying to encourage our kids to communicate about how somebody's actions affected them, so that child can take that conversation and look at it at the big, like as a big picture, and be like, maybe next time I won't say it in the way that I said it, or maybe I won't say it directly to somebody. So we're just trying to open lines of communication with all of our kids, and not all of our conflicts that our students have necessarily need an adult to mediate them. Some of those conflicts are really minor, and so we're trying to get them to recognize that when it's not an adult problem that an adult actually needs to deal with, they can ask for help from a friend to try to mediate those situations. So hopefully I'll have some good news for you at the end of the summer, and it worked amazing, and our kids can work through their problems without us having to be counselors more than we get to be teachers. But fingers crossed that works. Cool. Questions for me? Good. Okay. Thank
It
you.
up. Thank you, Nika. Planning. Urban, do not get up.
I mean, they already left. I'm good. These guys all stay. So, sorry, I'm running 2 meetings today for fun. Planning and zoning is obviously the more fun one because they have food and laughter. So we're gonna go back in there after I get done talking. So been a busy month or so. Is my phone? But it's been a busy month working on a lot of grant reimbursements, working through some of the EPA stuff. So we're definitely moving forward on the EPA as far as the asbestos removal. They're doing the APCAs, which is the asbestos abatement alternative criteria. Basically, they get all the bids in. They got their last one this last week. So on Monday, I'm supposed to be able to see what the bids are supposed to look like for the abatement in the various facilities. Once we have those back, we'll send them to the EPA and to CDPHE for them to review. And what that does is it provides multiple alternatives. So like, is encapsulation the correct way to go? The removal, is it demolition? So they're working through that portion of the Terracon grant right now. And that will continue to move forward. We're seeing more interest in that grant from the community. We've had an additional probably 4 properties that are going to be assessed, which is pretty good. I'm trying to work through right now what those last 4 are gonna cost. And we're probably done being able to do community ones, just because we're gonna have to make sure the funds are there for all the abatement that we need to do in our own properties. And so Gigi's gonna speak with you guys about a work session about the properties that we own and the direction we wanna go with them. So that we can try to identify, like, what's the plan? If somebody says, hey, I'll buy it and do the abatement. Is that something that we wanna entertain, or do we wanna wait until the abatement's done? Do we wanna get asking price, or do we wanna do another RFP, or how do we wanna do it? So she's gonna work with you guys to get a work session on board to make those decisions so that we can make a good path moving forward with those ones that we do want to part with when we're done with them. In addition to that, we should have the arborist will be in town starting week after next, and they'll be doing an evaluation all the way through the city. They'll be evaluating all the public trees, as well as they will knock on the door if they have a tree in the backyard, and if somebody's there and are willing to let them evaluate their tree, they'll evaluate it. If not, they'll evaluate it from the road and say, it looks good, it looks like it's dead. They'll just do it from the road, and then we'll get a map of where we need to focus our attentions as far as the trees go. And once we have that, we'll be able to work on a request for proposals for another arborist to come in and do the maintenance on the trees that we do have that need maintenance. On our right of ways and in our parks and that kind of stuff. And that maintenance could take lots of forms. Some of it will be removal, some of it will be just trimming. Just depends on what's going on with those trees. So that'll start happening through the month of June, and then we'll probably have the arborists coming in late summer, early fall to go ahead and do that. They're also going to come in immediately following the first week of June. They'll start coming in and doing the planting of the trees. We're planting just over 100 this year. We have about 30 private trees that have already we've had applications come in to plant them. And then we're going to also be planting some at the middle school. But I think this middle school ones will be done in the fall. So we're moving through those processes. The land use code, tonight, before we get done, we should have it recommended for you guys. And so Gigi's gonna be working with you guys on another work session, to go over the land use code and what it's became and what it represents and how it's, where we're at going forward with it. So that we can start getting it into an ordinance and start moving forward to get it completed. So we've got a lot of that stuff going on. We've recently worked on a bunch of different pieces of the code, anything that the land use code touched. That's being changed. We've worked with multiple departments to try to make sure that when we pass the new one, we don't accidentally kill some other part of the code. So we went through and we're working on that. We should hopefully have all of those aligned and be able to be passed at the same time. So that way, all the things that are broken will go out at one time and the new stuff will come in. That's all correct, hopefully. So that's really been the last couple of weeks as far as my work in production goes. The building services department is doing very well. We're still seeing, we had a new house come in today. We're seeing buildings come in about every week. We're at 27 building permits at this time. So our new building official is doing a great job. I've had absolutely no complaints from any of the contractors as far as his work, his communication, or any of those things. He's meeting the timelines that he needs to meet. Fading West, or not Fading West, Modern West Homes, they now have their certificate of occupancy. So they're starting to put in their machines and their rollers. And he said, did he say August, Gigi?
I'm sorry, I got caught off guard by a disturbing comment about the city.
Oh.
What did you say?
Modern West, did they say August was when they would start getting on homes?
They said fall.
Fall.
Yeah.
So fall, they'll start producing homes. And they have a lot of interest. They're talking to developers and whatnot. So they have a lot of work that they're coming in for doing that. AutoZone is currently stocking their shelves. They'll be doing the stocking for the next 3 weeks. And then they should open their doors. So all of the things that we've had moving along are starting to actually take fruit and be completed. They also drew the building permit for the new apartment complex. So they have started the building process for the new apartments as well.
That's the ones behind the legacy.
So are there any questions for me on the things we got going on?
I have a question on our tree grant. When the arborist comes through, they'll only be trimming up city-owned trees or
Correct.
those in our right of ways.
Yes.
They're not gonna go trim down somebody's dead tree
No.
in their front yard.
I I did not put any maintenance of privately owned trees in the contract. I'm pretty sure somebody told me that was a liability risk. Not sure who it was, but I'm pretty sure somebody did. So. Even though there's some that I'd like to cut down.
We'll have a conversation a little bit. But another time in regards to a tree that needs to come down, but it's belongs to a problem child.
Okay,
You know what?
I'm probably sure which one it is.
Yes, okay.
All right, if you guys have anything else,
No, sir, thank you.
thank you for your time. guys.
Go have fun. You're doing. Yeah, go eat some food and laugh. IT. Brandon, what's up, buddy?
Hey, good evening, council. Got the less pleasant with the Brandons here tonight. But we've been doing a lot of work. We've now started live streaming court. That was according to the Colorado law that says you must stream court. So we've installed some equipment, ran some cables, and we are using a free to communities smaller than 5,000 software called Open Media to stream that to YouTube and to handle that capability for us. And in the same sense of audio visual, we have installed an owl camera in the conference room, so we now have a better ability to video conference within that room. So that is something that we're still working on. We're gonna install some outlets into the table itself to make things a little bit more clean. We've had some issues with the ADA hearing devices in Sky High that we resolved. We've been working with the police department to do some technology upgrades. Right now we're focusing mainly on the mobile data terminals that police officers have inside their vehicles. Chief and I have also been looking at some possibilities to modernize the technology that the police officers use. We've deployed seasonal cell phones, been working with Cassell, our main software company, to identify how our document management module interfaces with the Cassell module. Door updates, security fixes, and all of the rest. One of the other things that we've had in this last month is I presented an AI kind of overview meeting with the department heads. That went very well. We did an introduction to some AI concepts and AI tools that are included in our Google Workspace account. Those are tools that we don't have to pay extra for. They are sandboxed tools, meaning that the information that we input into those tools is not used to train AI models that are outside of our organization. And we talked about Notebook LM, which is a tool that gives us a sandbox within a sandbox to utilize AI for more specific responses that are city related, that are not necessarily needed to be things trained on to public AI models. And that concludes my report. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I sometimes think you guys just have way too much fun doing your stuff.
We do. It is one of those things that you don't go into IT unless you really like IT stuff. And when you go into it, a lot of days it's a job, but a lot of days it's a lot of fun to see technology and how it interfaces with people and can make jobs easier. I find it very rewarding.
Very good. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Keep up the good work, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon. Chief, PD.
I'll keep it short. Obviously, we had some promotions, so I think that was a big thing that we've had going on for the several last couple months to get people up to speed. And I think we really did a good job in going through that process and finding some real good candidates to help lead the police department forward. As you talked about, we're looking at some technology stuff that we'd like to upgrade and working with Axon and looking at things that might bring us into modern nation a little bit, so the 21st century, or that would help the organization speed up some of the report writings and make things a little bit easier, which would probably save us a lot of money in overtime and different things. So we're looking at some of those technologies and things of that nature. We're still doing our recruitment. We do have two in backgrounds. Unfortunately, we did have it opened up, and I haven't had received any new applicants for that. We did have a interview for a community service officer or a code enforcement officer. We moved that young man forward into the process into the backgrounds, and hopefully we'll cross our fingers that all that works out and we can get that maybe here by end of June or something, 1st of July type thing. Cross my fingers and hope that, and we'll just keep plugging forward. But a big thing is our promotions, and it's a busy time of the year, so I'm just trying to keep up with everything.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief. City Clerk.
I'm just gonna kind of paraphrase some of the stuff you put in here because it refers to me. So I attended the nuts and bolts training. She sent me to Sterling. So very interesting area, no mountains. And so I was kind of felt out of my area. It was a really, really good class, got to see a lot of things, a lot of interesting videos on things that go on in different councils and different areas. It was a really good class. Some of her projects that she's working on, she's rewriting and modernizing chapters 4 and 6, which are business licenses and animal regulations. She's doing some revisions with the court fees and fines, prosecution timeframes, and wants to better align the legal and operational needs. And she's going to present those in June. She worked with DJ and Gigi to rewrite and update the city's mural code. And creating and organizing a new event calendar for the city's website to improve the community engagement and communication. Processing several open records requests and preparing for a new liquor license, which is going to be Thai Bangkok. And that's going to be for late June. And then attendance and participation in the Chamber of Commerce and tourism meetings, so she could stay engaged with community tourism meetings. Additionally, the annual business license renewal process has been completed. The city currently has a total of 182 licensed businesses. The clerk's office continues to focus on improving processes, updating code provisions, and supporting transparency and public service operations throughout the city. Any questions?
He's busy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Been trying to fit training in with everything that's going on, and been working. We've been handling it pretty good, so
Good.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, I do miss public works, but I am enjoying the courts part the most. So
There's not a lack of people to be in court.
no, there's not. No, definitely. But it's been a very good for me. I love it.
Good. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, public works.
Oh, okay. Public Works. You got some big shoes to fill.
Hey,
No.
yes. He lives outside city limits and has a long drive. Okay, so we have in Public Works, we finally have all of our summer seasonals hired, so they're beginning to get things mowed. And so the street crew had been filling in, doing some of those mowing of our properties, and then they've been working on patching potholes. We finally feel like we're staffed up. We're still looking for someone to fill a position out at the wastewater treatment plant. They have been installing new water and sewer taps out at Tierra del Sol and working on the rehabilitation of the Jackson water well house. And I think we finally got the roof fixed because it was kind of caving in. So that is fixed and we're out of the danger zone there. Finally got the 2 closeouts of a couple DOLA loans, one or DOLA grants. One was on the wastewater and the other one was on the alley project. So our finance director is very pleased with that. And then we'll start with the tree planting. We had a nice Arbor Day little celebration and had kids from the FFA come over. Yeah, FFA, Future Farmers organization, as well as then you guys have seen the little kids from the Kindness Club. They came over and watched and participated. And then we also have a noxious weed technician hired. So we've got to continue doing another state mandated mandate. But killing noxious weeds is important. That's really important.
This will be the guy that sprays all the weeds on all the city's properties and lots.
Yeah. And then we also have to we have to map it. And so we can show progress to the state on where we're going and what we've gotten accomplished. So that's kind of what Public Works is up to. It's going to be a busy year for them.
Long as you get rain.
Yeah, well, the bids, we're still working on the details of the wastewater treatment plant. We met with USDA Rural Development and it sounds like what they're proposing, it hasn't been approved, but they will give us an additional 5 million in grant and then 12 million in loan. So we're still looking at messing with the base rate is going to have to go up. And so we'll have to do a special session where we can just sit down, go through the rates, why we got to where we are, and kind of see where that goes. We did get another 500,000 from Department of Local Affairs for the wastewater treatment plant. And so we're going to have to be kind of creative, because how USDA grants work is that once they commit to a certain amount, if you get additional grant money, they take away from their grant money that they gave you. So we'll want to use this 500,000 on a different part of the project, like the remediation and taking care of the biosolids after the fact. So every little 100,000 helps. It's gonna be a big deal.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks, Gigi. City Attorney. Mr. Crop.
Sorry. Councilman, Mr. Mayor, where to start? I try to meet with department heads, at least city manager, DJ and the chief once a week. Just so you know, that's my routine. We've been doing a lot of redoing of ordinance drafts. Some have been mentioned that I'm working with Nita and some with DJ. So we've got some ordinances going on with regard to our criminal code, redoing it, cleaning it up. There's some provisions that don't really fit with state law, in my opinion, and we've been applying the law correctly, but we just need to clean it up in writing and make sure that we're compliant. That's chapter 6 in particular when it comes to the criminal code. And for DJ, we were going over chapter 5, and I think we went over chapter 11, where I go through and legally review those chapters, analyze them, make suggestions, and just try to, that's what I mean by clean them up. You know, are we current and in conformance with Colorado law? Are we doing everything that we can to try to maximize our enforceability and effectiveness? And that's an ongoing process, but you're going to be seeing some of those, as mentioned, soon in their final version for passage. Durbin's not here now, but I want to take some of the fault because I got a hold of all the ball field stuff, of course, in typical lawyer fashion. I tried to clean that up, add a lot of provisions, emphasizing protection of the city, accomplishing the goal, of course, that both parties are trying to achieve, and just making sure also that there were protections in place for us and for the city. DJ did a good job on a lot of the ball field stuff, but I got a hold of it and probably doubled the size that he had to read. And also I tried to clean up some things as far as clarity. We've got some ongoing HR stuff, but it's not as time consuming, but still a priority and still ongoing with a recent even meeting today. Of course, that's privileged communication, can't discuss it here openly. A lot of memos to DJ, and actually met with him for half a day, going over what he's battling through, and they are in the other room. So really trying to help them get this done. I know how long he's been working on it. He said they worked on definitions for like 6 months, and I got a hold of him, and I think we pretty well reworked them in an afternoon. So that's why I try to speed things up, keep things moving. We drafted a professionalism and confidentiality policy that the city manager may roll out, but we discussed it at a meeting, and that was brought up by some things that probably need to be addressed. This in general, nothing specific. Also, Brandon didn't mention it, but we're working on an AI policy draft as well for everyone, and they were kind enough to put on a training, which I attended most of once I got my Zoom to work. But we're trying to educate everybody to understand what is AI, what can you do with it, what you should not do with it, etc. Because that's an ongoing hot button for liability for a lot of governmental entities. That you're just kind of using it, not thinking about the parameters, who's collecting your information as you're using it. And that can become a problem. So I appreciate IT's been working on that. I've been trying to make some suggestions and redrafting worked on as well. Of course, I conducted court. I'm a positive guy, but we had about 60 on the docket and about 6 showed up. So I want to thank the chief personally for his ability to tolerate me and take me in stride when I'm riled up, because I called him afterwards and said, we need to make further adjustments, sir, if you would be in agreement. And more need to go visit Del Norte. So he was kind enough to listen, and it is what it is. But my frustration to explain is I want to make a difference in the community. I want people to see that difference. That's what the chief's trying to do. And so, we want some teeth. We want the word to get out that it does matter if you do things that are wrong, illegal, and so forth in this community. So when 6 show up out of 60, that needs to be addressed even further. We did so. I think that's it. I'm over there scrabbling down, the stuff. I almost forget what all we work on, but I want to thank everybody. I try to be responsive, available, and thorough. And man, everybody I work with here, I got to give them a big thumbs up. I really enjoy the people you have working here. They're a sharp group and hard workers. You had mentioned something earlier, Mr. Mayor, about a question that involved liability in the city. I won't discuss liability publicly, but while I was sitting over there and had some time, I did some research, analyzed it, and sent 2 memos to you, the city manager and BJ, I think. So you might take a look at your email. Happy to share with the council. If there's further follow-up regarding any of those things, of course, we can have an executive session and a complete briefing. But I hope that answers some of your questions.
I didn't see that. Thank you.
That's all I can think of, unless you guys have any questions. All right, thank you.
It's always been. Hey, look a piece of paper you got.
Well, I kind
Oh.
of checked some of them off.
Thank you, Brad.
Sure.
All right, city manager report.
This had to do
Wow,
with
I got a lot of.
No, well, this had to do with last night. So the chief and I went to the CML dinner last night, and it was actually rather poor attendance. There weren't a lot of our municipalities in the San Luis Valley that attended. But I got on the soapbox about CDPHE and this enormous cost they're putting on us. And it was amazing the other communities, they're all facing it. Little Manassas Manassas has like 400 people, $28 million problem that CDPHE is trying to shove down them. And so I think that collectively as municipalities that we need to come together and sit down with Senator Simpson and Representative Martinez this summer and try to get this figured out. You know, I think it's going to be a plus if it is in a positive way that we're going to be picking a new governor, because then likely they will make some changes in their departments, and we'll have some new leadership at CDPHE that will hopefully hear the cries of our voices and say, you know, we need to step back and look at this. That the Colorado law is, we have to at least meet EPA standards, but but states have the options of making it stricter. So Colorado has stricter laws with the EPA, and you know, we're paying the price because of the cost of it. And then I primarily highlighted the good things that where Monte Vista has been being highlighted right now on a state and national level with through tourism and stuff. So I sent you guys another one this week where the Colorado Sun recognized, they listed the top 10 festivals that they say defines Colorado culture. Well, the first one they listed was the Monte Vista Cream Festival.
Wow.
That's rock on. So I was excited about that. Got to go through the hotel yesterday. It's really coming along very nice. They will be moving in furniture in the next couple of weeks, and they're still targeting though October for having everything finished. So their investors were there, and everybody was pretty excited about what they got to see. As DJ mentioned, we met with Modern West, and I wanted to visit with them because I think that acreage over there is 36 acres that they purchased. And what are their plans? You know, you guys approved parceling off 5 acres, and that's what Modern West sits on. So what are they going to do with the other 31 acres? And they're talking about having a mix of commercial as well as then residential behind it. I want to know if they have actual connections with other businesses, franchises, whatever, that we can help leverage and say, here we've got a spot, here's an address, you know, come set up here in Monte Vista. So we're trying to push from that side as well. The Upper Rio Grande Economic Development had their luncheon a week or so ago, and it was in South Fork, and we heard from the gentleman that's developing the mega RV park. And if I recall correctly, they plan on putting they have 188 spots that they will sell. And that will be a mixture of RV pads and, you know, little parcels, as well as some smaller homes and stuff. But they're making it kind of a one-stop shop. They'll have a restaurant, they've got pickleball court, they've got weight room, they've got I look at you, Victor, and smile. They've got a barber. And so
Haircut.
haircut. They're really trying to sell this as an upscale, expensive RV/housing resort. So they're going to be doing a big not a grand opening, but kind of a big open house July 4th weekend. So if anybody wants to go up and look at their plans, you can do that. And it's in 3 phases. And so they see this not being fully built out for another 5 years. And then our next meeting is on June the 4th. The reason you had so many staff reports today is because I'm gonna try really hard to keep next week's agenda pretty small, and there will be no staff reports, so. That's it.
The meeting last night, the CML meeting,
Mhm.
I apologize. But I was late getting away from work, but I was
That's
planning on going with you guys, but
It was
Okay.
pretty good, and Center had one of their council members, and then their new chief was there. Alamos always has a big showing, of course, since it was in Lahara, they had a showing. Moffat's mayor looked like he was 12.
yeah.
It's a tiny, I mean, it's just a petite man, very young looking. He's got to be 21, 22. He's not very old. 15. 15. Who else did we see? Manasseh, Romeo, Blanca. One interesting thing about it is several of them, Alamosa being one, they are putting in speed radar machines. So Blancas are going live on Monday. I saw those set up over the weekend. Alamosa's putting them in. Do you remember who else said? Lahara, and there was one more. So anyway,
Is that kind of similar to what we looked at that one time?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the chief is still sort of evaluating that right now just isn't a priority for the city. And so we're just trying to get through some other things before that's readdressed.
That could be a really good income for a new officer coming from the west end of town. I'm just kidding. The thought, chief, we'll talk later. Gigi, thank you so much.
You bet.
All right, we'll go on to council committee, city commission, and council reports. Councilor Segala.
I really don't have anything that I can think of right now. Seen one of your neighbors getting moved out. Was like, that's some good stuff right there.
You have no idea, Victor. Thank you.
I do, because I get some of them over there in our alley and next door.
Yeah. Like the guy on the tote goat that I know is the runner because he's in and out. He has flashlight on his little tote goat. And the neighbor's dog chases him. He
I get
almost
that
got him.
Togo going down my block.
Yeah.
Not much.
Bradshaw.
You guys can wish Monte Vista graduates, congratulations.
Oh, that is true. They did graduate.
You go.
Congrats to those guys.
The baseball team still has another shot.
Monty.
Yes. Always really good.
I believe the golf course is putting it on tomorrow. They're gonna have it on TV at the golf course, I
Okay.
believe.
Are they really?
Yep.
What?
Yeah. Public Works, I see those guys out there kicking butt. Parks look good, things are cleaned up. Got a little rain this week. Could use about 100 times more than that, but it's a start. About all I got.
All right. Well, Tyler, Bradshaw, thanks for being here. Commissioner, appreciate that. Margot, we missed you. I know you.
But 6'5", I thought, oh, fudge. That would be bad.
I want to start calling you ahead of time,
You
so.
need to, honestly. What happens when you get old? But can I say one little thing? I wanna really thank Rob. The storm drains are being cleaned. I see that oh my God, thank the Lord.
Well, I'll pass that along.
Please.
I don't have a whole lot. Victor's comment about, it's process to get things done, but yeah, it's getting done. And PD had something to do with that, so did the sheriff department, so did the court. So it's process, but you guys, I know there's a lot of people in the community that keep saying nothing's being done. It's process. Their hands are tied to an extent, and just see something, say something. Just if you don't want to leave your name, just call it in so it's documented. What is going on? Document it and that. So, it's got some moisture, like Kale said. Let's appreciate it, appreciate what we have, and take care of your neighbors, look after each other. That we will adjourn this meeting until June 4th, 6 p.m. here at City Hall.